In 2025, the world agrees on one thing. America has lost its shine. From Europe to Latin America to even longtime allies, the image of the U.S. has shifted from respected partner to controversial outsider. And American travelers are feeling it. They're reporting longer customs checks, sharper glares, and even outright hostility, not because of who they are as individuals, but because of the passport they carry. This isn't fear-mongering. It's happening now. If countries used to welcome Americans with open arms, what happens when they stop? Today, we're breaking down 7 countries that have turned on American travelers in 2025. Not just political shifts, but real consequences on the ground. So before you plan your next trip, or even believe that the world still sees America the same, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because this isn't just a travel story. It's a global wake-up call. Number 7. Turkey. From tourist favorite to political flashpoint. For years, Turkey ranked among the top dream destinations for American tourists. Istanbul's skyline, Cappadocia's balloon-filled skies, and prices that made it feel like luxury on a budget. But in 2025, the mood has changed, and fast. According to recent Gallup polling, over 80% of Turks now hold an unfavorable view of the U.S. That's one of the steepest drops in public sentiment in the region.
Why?
From the U.S.'s support for Kurdish groups, to NATO friction, to America's strong pro-Israel stance, politics has spilled into the streets. Travelers report being asked pointed questions in cafes, followed in markets, or even chanted at with Trump references as a slur. One American woman visiting Izmir was warned by locals to pretend to be Canadian if she didn't want attention. Turkey remains breathtaking, but the message is clear. You may still be welcome, but not warmly. Number 6. Mexico. You'd think proximity would protect the relationship. But for Mexico, 2025 has been a breaking point. Long-standing frustrations over border policies, military aid, and aggressive U.S. political rhetoric have boiled over. According to Reforma, only 28% of Mexicans view the U.S. favorably, the lowest in over a decade. For American travelers, this is no longer just about cartels or safety zones. It's about being visibly American. Some tourists now avoid speaking English in public. Others have removed U.S. logos from their backpacks or opted for non-American airlines just to keep a low profile. One California couple visiting Mexico City said they were ignored at restaurants until they switched to speaking Spanish. If the U.S.-Mexico relationship was once a handshake across the border, it now feels like a clenched fist under the table. Number 5. Germany. Germany, once a rock-solid ally, is now questioning everything. In 2025, a joint Pew survey revealed only 32% of Germans trust the U.S., and just 16% believe America will have a positive impact globally. What changed? Massive disagreements over climate policy, military involvement in Eastern Europe, and Washington's support of far-right European parties have sparked protests across Germany. Tesla sales have plunged 70% due to boycotts of American products, and diplomatic relations are at a post-World War II low. Americans visiting Berlin or Munich now report awkward conversations and being challenged over their government's policies. The famous German efficiency is still there. But the warmth? It's gone cold. Number 4. United Kingdom. The UK and the US have always been like siblings, sharing language, culture, and wars. But in 2025, even this special relationship is under serious stress. U.S. favorability has dropped from 49% to just 37% in Britain as frustrations mount over trade disputes, foreign policy, and perceived American arrogance. British tabloids mock U.S. politics almost daily. American visitors say they've been called out in pubs, avoided during tours, or asked if they voted for that guy, referring to Trump. Even travel agencies report fewer Brits are vacationing in the U.S., and those who do often say, "We'll just go once, then move on." If Britain was once America's most reliable friend, 2025 shows even old friendships can wear thin. Number 3. Denmark. Denmark, polite, peaceful, and neutral, rarely makes headlines. But even here, resentment is building. It started with former President Trump's renewed push to buy Greenland, a territory Denmark controls. The insult wasn't just political, it felt colonial, dismissive, and disrespectful. And it hasn't been forgotten. In 2025, a new poll found that only 20% of Danes have a favorable view of the US, the lowest in Western Europe. More than 90,000 Danes have joined an online boycott of American products, and even American brands like Starbucks and Apple report a drop in sales. Tourists have been asked bluntly, "Do you think your country can just buy ours?" And while Denmark remains scenic and clean, the undercurrent for Americans is unmistakable. You're no longer just another tourist. You're a symbol. Number 2, France. A cold shoulder in the City of Light. France has always had a love-hate relationship with the US, admiring American culture while critiquing its politics. But now it's mostly hate. Recent IFOP polling shows only 34% of French people support the US, with nearly 3 in 4 believing America is no longer a true ally. Tariffs, climate disputes, and foreign interference have only added fuel to the fire. American travelers now routinely report covering U.S. flag patches, using fake Canadian accents, or avoiding political conversations entirely. One Oregon tourist even said, "For the first time, I was embarrassed to be American." Meanwhile, French universities are seeing a boom in American students fleeing U.S. education cuts, a sign of trust moving in reverse. France is still romantic, still iconic. But the welcome? No longer warm. Number 1, Canada. The closest friend. Now, distant. And finally, Canada. If the US had one relationship that felt unbreakable, it was this one. But now, that friendship is cracking. Why? Repeated political insults, trade tariffs, and calling Canada America's 51st state didn't help either. Today, only 25% of Canadians view the US favorably, according to Angus Reid Institute. One Michigan man who frequently crosses into Ontario says, "I used to chat with people at gas stations. Now, they just stare or ignore me." In places like Whistler or Vancouver, tourists say they avoid political conversations entirely or even pretend they're European. Canada hasn't closed its doors, but it's made it clear. You're no longer the favorite neighbor. This isn't about fear. It's about respect and whether America still commands it. Because if the global mood has shifted, it isn't just political. It's personal. It's social. It's travel. It's identity. From Turkey to Canada, from Berlin to Cancun, American tourists are discovering they no longer arrive as heroes, but as question marks. So, here's the big question. Is this a temporary dip in goodwill, or a permanent change in how the world sees America? Let me know in the comments. I read every one. And if you care about where the world is heading, subscribe now. Because this conversation, it's only just beginning.